Well, at Hendersonville, we have these blue cards that we advertise every single Sabbath. If anybody wants to transfer their membership, if they want Bible studies, have a prayer request, they can fill that out and put it in the offering plate. And so it's not uncommon for us to get these blue cards each and every week, and we try and follow those up. And on this particular Sabbath, there was a Doris Haynes that had checked the box, "I'd like to be baptized." And so I was the one that took that call and called her up on the phone. I didn't think that I had met her before. I didn't know any of her story. The staff didn't really know anything. So it was a cold call. But I called her up on the phone, and she answered and said hello, and I introduced myself. "This is Pastor Wright from the Hendersonville Seventh Adventist Church. And I understand that you would like to be baptized." And she said, "Yes, I would. When can we do that?" I said, "Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, and we can certainly get together and have Bible studies." And I started to go down that path with her a little bit, and she says, "I've had Bible studies." And I wasn't sure, what Bible studies did you go through, with what denomination? I'm still very much trying to piece all this together. And so I'm trying to say, well, what was the name of the Bible studies? Was there a title at the top or anything of that nature? And she couldn't really remember. And as we went along, I said, well, I tried to make it multiple choice, and yes, I think it was the Amazing Facts Bible Study Guides. And I said, okay, and how many of those did you get through? She says, all of them. And I said, so you've already been through all those things already? She says, yeah. I said, who took you through all of those? And she mentioned an individual by the name of Bobby, I believe at the Albemarle Church. And she said, yeah, we went through all of that. And so I said, okay, well, maybe we should go through and see if we can check off the baptismal certificate. And that would give me an understanding, too, of where she was. And so I did some digging around. I'm on the phone. So I do some digging around, find my little list there, and I say, okay, well, I'm going to read through these, and you let me know. And so we went through the first one, do you believe in the Trinity? Do you believe that Jesus came and died for our sins? All these things. And she says, yes, yes, yes. All the way through the health part, the Sabbath, all the way down through, yes. Yes, almost with impatience, like, of course. I already told you, I'm ready to be baptized. And so it wasn't very long, probably 5-7 minutes. In our conversation, I was convinced that, okay, you're ready to go. And so I said, well, let's set up a date. When would you like to be baptized? She said, as soon as possible. And I don't remember which day this was, if it was a Wednesday or Thursday or something. And I said, well, let's see if there's some of those people from the Albemarle Church that were part of this study with you, that they could have enough time to travel and be here at Hendersonville if they would like to. I think it's about a 2.5-hour drive, something like that, just east of Charlotte to Hendersonville. And so she says, okay, I'll check. And we gave her some dates that she could check with them. And she got back with me within the week. We put it up on the calendar, and she was baptized. So Doris had come to Hendersonville because her sister Patty lives in the area, and she's a member of the Seventh Adventist Church. But when Patty and Doris were in Albemarle, she took her sister to that church there. And I've come to find out that Bobby, who's an elder at that church, was starting a class for an interest because they had just recently had an evangelistic series. And so there was an individual, Connie, that was in that class. And so when Doris showed up, they said, why don't you come and join us as part of this class? And so my understanding is that she continued through that over a period of time until she started having her own Bible studies and come to know the Lord personally herself and our message, and wanted to be part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But before she was able to be baptized, she transferred over to the Hendersonville area to be with her sister and live with her. And that's when I got the blue card, and she said, hey, I'd like to go ahead and do this and make it official. So in looking at this, there's just a lot of different links that brought this together. You couple the evangelistic effort with the follow-up class and the family member, Patty, who's bringing her sister to church, and how those dovetailed so nicely, how she continued with her Bible studies and was baptized. But it goes back even further than that, because Patty herself was brought into the Seventh-day Adventist Church with 2 lay members that studied with her 30 years prior. And so here we have this chain of events that continues to unfold and continues to show fruit as people are brought to the Lord. And that's just a beautiful picture to me of that chain of events and the various parts that each of us play in being perhaps even just one link. So many times we think that we have failed if we haven't brought an individual from start to finish, but God may just have one piece for us to play in this chain of events, and then we pass the baton to somebody else who takes it to the next leg and the next leg. But I just love that idea of from 30 years ago all the way up until even today, lives are being impacted for the kingdom. And so here in the Carolina Conference, we want to invite you to partner with us in being another link in that chain. It can be through giving out literature, it can be giving Bible studies, inviting them to come to a set of meetings with you, praying for family members, and the list goes on. But you can be very much a part of that chain. And today, as we take up an offering that goes for evangelism for the Carolina Conference, that too can be another way that we can pass the baton to the next part of this story for somebody else.